Hello, my name is Nani and welcome to my channel where I share with you my top tips on how to look good, feel good, and smell good from the inside out. In today's video, we're talking all about smelling good, and I want to go ahead and do another exclusive fragrance review. So of course, if you guys want to hear my thoughts on a new fragrance for 2021, definitely make sure that you guys stick around. And if you like this type of content, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to my channel for more. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alrighty, so jumping right into it, as you guys can tell, I do have a sample of this fragrance, and I don't want to ruin this, but this is one that's transitioned into my wish list. So I'm just gonna say that off the bat, but this is Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. This is a niche house, so this is quite an expensive fragrance, okay? But I want to go ahead and share with you guys what this smells like and why I say that this is now on my wish list. So this fragrance itself, the notes are rose, clove, raspberry, blackcurrant, cinnamon at the top, patchouli, incense, and sandalwood in the middle, and then musk, benzoin, and amber in the base. I honestly did not know what to expect when I saw the notes, especially because of the clove notes and the cinnamon notes and all of that. I was like, okay, this is going to be quite a spicy fragrance. I like them, but I don't really need too many of them in my collection. But the biggest thing is I wanted to try it out because of the rose notes and the black currants, the patchouli. There's a lot of notes in here that I do really enjoy. And so I did not know what to expect. And when I first sprayed it, I was like, wait a minute now. I don't know if this is gonna be for me, because in the opening, it is quite spicy and smoky of a scent. Not in a way where you can pinpoint the spice. It's not like I can pinpoint clove or cinnamon, but it's definitely quite like spicy and smoky. And it does have more of like a strong woody patchouli incense type of smell. But pretty quickly I found that it turned into more of like an ambery, musky rose type of scent. So once the transition happened on my skin, I was like, wait a minute now. I didn't expect that, just because the rose note is at the top, so I didn't expect for it to stay prominent on my skin, but it does. So for this one, in comparison to the opening, it does get quite soft and intimate once it's fully dried down. Even though it still projects and radiates off of the skin, it does kind of like tone itself down a little bit. And it's also a little bit kind of like fruity, like you get the fruit notes. Not that I can pinpoint any of the fruit notes that are in here as far as like the smell of the fruit notes, but there's this sweet, slightly tangy smell that comes from the fruits, and I feel like it definitely adds to the scent and makes it quite attractive, quite sophisticated, and it's very like unique and luxurious and expensive smelling. It's honestly one of a kind. I didn't expect for it to transition as it did. It's truly a captivating scent without like trying too hard. It's elegant, it's powerful. It smells like a scent that's important, like, I don't know, like a queen would wear this or something like that. And this is the first time I've ever thought this about a fragrance, but it almost smells like a work of art. I don't know how else to describe it, but if I had to use a sentence to describe this fragrance and how it transitions and how it performs on the skin, it truly smells like a work of art. I'm really impressed by this scent. I did not expect that. I did not expect for it to transition so quickly into my wish list, but it's one of those things where once it fully dried down, I could not get enough of this scent. Like, it's intoxicating. As I mentioned, it smells luxurious, it smells expensive, but it's still a very wearable type of scent. It's one that I also feel like can be worn year round. I wouldn't reserve this for like, you know, only a special occasion. I feel like this would be a beautiful signature scent. And as I mentioned, it can transition year round and also transition from daytime to nighttime. I think I've mentioned to you guys before that I do like more of my heavier duty, more powerful, more impressive scent at nighttime. And this is one that I feel like can definitely get you compliments during the day, because it gets a little bit softer as it fully dries down, but at nighttime for like a sexy date night, it is so intoxicating that this will definitely garner you a lot of compliments, a lot of attention, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The wear time on this in terms of like on my skin, I would say I got about 6 to 7 hours or so, but I did overspray it as well on my clothes as much as I could because it's obviously just a sample, and it really stuck to my clothes for like days. Like it really stuck to my clothes for a very, very long time. So I'm someone that I don't mind spraying my fragrances on my clothes. I know some people don't like to do that just because they don't want that scent to stay on that article of clothing. But for me, I'm okay with it because I like to smell myself as I'm wearing perfume. And that's a really great way for you to get your fragrances to last a little bit longer and to project a lot longer as well. Even though, as I mentioned, it gets closer to the skin once it dries down, it still leaves this beautiful, sweet, musky, rose, ambery type of trail behind you. It's very well balanced, it's very well blended, and it is honestly just gorgeous. Again, it smells like a work of art. Actually, I saw this comment on Fragrantica about this fragrance where somebody said that this smelled like an antique, and I feel like I understand what they mean by that. Like, there's something about this scent that smells very important. There's something that smells very classic about it, but it's not done in a vintage, old school type of way. I feel like this would be a beautiful signature scent. Like I mentioned, even though it starts off kind of like spicy and smoky, it does transition more into more of like a softer, sweet, rose, musky, ambery type scent. It is absolutely beautiful on the skin. Do not let the opening of this fragrance turn you off. Just because for me, I kind of had the same reaction, just because I don't really like scents that stay spicy and smoky. It has to transition to something better. And for me, that's basically my experience with this fragrance. Even though it opens like a very strong, powerful, in your face type of scent, it transitions into more of a softer, gentle, more approachable, elegant, classy, just a beautiful fragrance. It's not one that I feel like is feminine necessarily. I feel like this could definitely be a unisex scent just because it just smells very natural and important and classic. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's done beautifully. I feel like they definitely did a great job at the blend of this fragrance. I've heard that this has been reformulated so that the longevity isn't necessarily as good as it was. As I mentioned, on the skin, I didn't get a huge longevity, but it did linger on my clothes for quite a while. But I find this to be beautiful. This is definitely one that's transitioned into my wish list. I'm hoping that I can get a decant so I can test it out even more on my skin to see how I feel about the longevity and things like that. But this is just a gorgeous scent. It's beautifully done. So again, that's going to be Portrait of a Lady. Let me know what your thoughts are about this brand. Let me know what your thoughts are about this fragrance as well. I wanted to try a few fragrances from Frederic Malle. This was one that when I saw the notes, I was like, okay, I might like it just because of the rose and the black currant, but I wasn't sure of how it would transition on my skin and if it would actually transition into what it did. And so I'm actually really grateful to have this sample because now I'm like, okay, this has opened my eyes to something beautiful. So again, this is Frederic Malle, Portrait of a Lady. Again, let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'll make sure to also leave a link in the description box in case you guys are interested in testing it out yourself. Thank you guys again so much for tuning into another video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you guys are staying safe. God willing, I'll see you guys next time.